Bienvenue dans cette édition spéciale Célestin Germain. Bienvenue au 20h au départ donc pour l'éternité confinée.
Ok. Qu'est-ce qui va donc se passer en Afrique? Comme avec vous, Madame Emerson. Rebonsoir à tous et bienvenue pour cette édition.
3, 2, 1, go!
Ok, c'est bon.
Parce qu'il répond ici à Saint-Germain, clairement. Il répond également même à Kabalipi, il faut le dire ici, à toutes les personnes, à tous les politiciens qui viennent en politique parce qu'ils veulent profiter, parce qu'ils veulent manger, parce qu'ils veulent un salaire, parce qu'ils veulent être milliardaires, sans passer par peut-être une entreprise, tout ça. Tous les hommes politiques qui viennent en politique au Cameroun parce qu'ils veulent manger, parce qu'ils n'ont aucune conviction, parce qu'ils savent pertinemment que la politique au Cameroun rend riche, ils savent qu'ils peuvent faire la corruption, ils savent qu'ils peuvent aller à gauche et à droite facilement. On a vu Jean-de-Dieu Momo, on a vu Saint-Germain, on a vu Doki, tous ces gens-là qui n'ont aucune conviction et qui viennent en politique, ils les répondent tous. Et Maurice Kamto leur répond. Où est-ce que Maurice Kamto leur répond? Maurice Kamto leur répond dans sa pensée qui sort toutes les semaines. Et cette pensée-ci est très profonde, très profonde. J'aimerais que tu écoutes bien cette pensée de Maurice Kamto, parce que je dis bien cette pensée est très profonde. Maurice Kamto dit quoi? Il dit au sommet de l'injustice, c'est-à-dire que qu'on a atteint un niveau d'injustice qui est au sommet, donc il parle du summum. La part de bien qu'il y a en nous est touchée par la tentation du chaos. Ça veut dire quoi? Ça veut dire lorsque tu es une personne bien, qui a un bon cœur, mais que tu subis une injustice, tu as envie du chaos, tu as envie de... Vous savez, imaginez-vous quand vous avez une injustice, quand peut-être vous accusez d'un truc que vous n'avez pas fait, et vous savez exactement que ce n'est pas vous, c'est telle personne qui l'a fait, et qu'on dit que c'est vous, imaginez vous voulez sûrement tout détruire. Mais il dit ici que la part de bien qui est en nous est touchée par la tentation du chaos. Si nous cédons pas à une telle tentation, c'est parce qu'en nous, quelque chose d'indicible nous retient. Donc si on ne cède pas à ça, c'est parce qu'en nous quelque chose d'indicible nous retient. Et elle nous retient parce qu'elle sait que le jour se lèvera. Donc on sait qu'un jour, la vérité sortira. On dira que c'est telle personne qui a commis ce problème-là. Seuls les gens de conviction et de foi arrivent au bout d'un chemin qui paraît interminable. Bien qu'elle n'offre pas des certitudes, je n'ai jamais pu m'émanciper de l'espérance. Il dit, seuls les gens de conviction et de foi arrivent au bout d'un chemin qui paraît interminable. Seuls les gens de conviction et de foi arrivent au bout d'un chemin qui paraît interminable. Vous savez, quand j'ai écouté cette parole de Maurice Kamto, je me suis dit, c'est ça la politique. Malheureusement, aujourd'hui, les gens font la politique sans conviction. Les gens font la politique parce qu'ils veulent des postes. Je dis au Cameroun, les gens font la politique parce qu'ils veulent se positionner. La politique n'est pas faite parce qu'on a des convictions, pas parce qu'on a une foi, pas parce qu'on veut aider le peuple, pas parce qu'on veut être debout et permettre à ce qu'un peuple se libérer. Non. La politique, c'est la politique des moutons, c'est la politique des brouteurs, c'est la politique des personnes qui veulent manger, des personnes qui n'ont pas de cœur, des personnes qui veulent profiter du système, des personnes qui voient comment le peuple souffre, mais ils s'en foutent. Ils vous donnent croire, vous font croire qu'ils sont avec vous. Pourtant, ils sont là pour les personnel. La politique sans conviction, sans foi n'est pas politique. Ça veut dire qu'aujourd'hui au Cameroun, il faut le dire clairement, près de 90% des politiciens n'ont ni conviction, n'ont ni de foi. Et ça le problème. Quand tu es un politicien qui n'a pas de conviction, pas de foi, clairement ça montre que tu n'es politicien, tu es un politicien à part. Et dans cette phrase-là, Maurice Kamto interprète clairement ici. Maurice Kamto interprète clairement ici d'abord chez Saint-Germain. Également Souga qui a quitté qui a chassé FNS et qui a rallié l'ADPC. Tous ces gens comme Ndoki, toutes ces personnes qui sont allées s'allier au ADPC alors qu'ils ont dit qu'ils étaient de l'opposition. Je parle même de Orangini, je parle même des Elibilobé. Toutes ces personnes qui étaient dans l'opposition en disant qu'on a des convictions, on veut combattre et qui sont rabattus parce qu'ils ont voulu profiter du système. Une fois de plus que ces gens-là n'ont pas de conviction. Parce que quand tu as de la foi et que tu as la conviction, je dis, on est même le combattant, même si on enlève tout un combattant, il peut faire la mort que d'aller de l'autre côté. Il peut faire la mort que d'aller de l'autre côté. C'est ça le combattant, c'est ça un opposant. Sans qu'on a des convictions, qu'on veut vraiment se battre pour un peuple, on n'accepte jamais ce que l'autre nous propose. Mais c'est la réalité aujourd'hui au Cameroun. C'est la réalité. Aujourd'hui, nos politiciens n'ont pas de conviction. On voit ces amènes qui sont des skis qui quittent. Ils passent à l'IO G20. On voit les momos qui quittent, ils passent à l'IO G20. Les gens qui parlent, on a vu même au Nangini qui parlaient de l'opposition au Cameroun, qui parlaient du Paul Biya au Cameroun, on avait commencé à aller se rallier parce qu'ils n'ont pas de conviction, ils n'ont pas de foi. Et quand une personne n'a pas de conviction, quand une personne n'a pas de foi, concrètement les amis, ça sert à quoi comment croire une personne comme ça? Comment tu peux décider de voter une personne qui n'a ni conviction ni de foi? Comment tu peux décider d'avoir confiance à une personne qui n'a ni de conviction ni de foi? C'est ça d'ailleurs qu'on dit que tous les critiques qu'on peut faire sur Moïse Kamto, clairement, c'est la seule personne qui a une foi et une conviction. C'est une vérité. On peut le traiter de tout. On peut dire qu'il a tout fait, mais c'est la seule personne qui se bat et que tout le monde voit qui se bat réellement pour le Cameroun. Moi, j'ai dit les personnes qui n'ont pas Libye, moi, je ne le soutiens plus. En tout cas, d'ailleurs, moi, sa position clairement montre que c'est une personne qui est là pas pour ses convictions, il est là pour son poste, il est là pour manger. Et c'est qui quitte là-bas, c'est très compliqué pour lui de gagner autant d'argent. Même s'il a embauché demain une entreprise, c'est qu'il le pouvoir. C'est combien qu'il va toucher? On connaît les salaires au Cameroun. Donc, c'est malheureux. C'est très malheureux. Moïse Kamto, dans cette pensée, nous explique ici là que il ne faut jamais, même au sommet de la justice, il ne faut jamais penser au chaos. C'est ce que Moïse Kamto nous dit. Même au sommet de la justice, il ne faut jamais penser au chaos. Car un jour, le ciel, ça veut dire que le ciel se lèvera. Un jour, le jour se lèvera. Tout le monde va voir. Tout le monde verra au grand jour la personne qui a fauté. Et toutes les personnes qui n'ont ni de conviction ni de foi, c'est des personnes qui ne sont pas capables de suivre un chemin que eux ils pensent interminable. Pourtant ce chemin-là a un bout. Et c'est ça que Moïse Kamto nous apprend aujourd'hui. Il nous apprend aujourd'hui que la politique n'est pas seulement une chose qu'on veut faire parce qu'on veut profiter. On fait la politique parce qu'on veut servir. On fait la politique parce qu'on veut aider. On fait la politique parce qu'on a une conviction. On fait la politique parce qu'on pense qu'on va apporter un plus à la nation. On va apporter un plus au peuple. On fait la politique pour pouvoir resserrer la collectivité, pour pouvoir permettre que la collectivité avance. On ne fait pas la politique pour soi-même. On ne fait pas la politique pour soi-même. On fait d'abord la politique parce qu'il y a quelque chose en nous qui nous amène à faire la politique. C'est pas parce qu'on veut des personnes qui viennent à la politique parce qu'ils veulent profiter du système. Ça veut dire qu'ils n'ont rien de personnes qui ont des convictions. D'ailleurs, c'est des personnes qui ne servent absolument à rien et qui ne serviront à rien lorsqu'ils sont en poste. Je vous dis bien, au Cameroun, c'est ça. C'est pour ça que le Cameroun n'avance pas. Parce que toutes ces personnes qui sont en poste ne sont pas là parce qu'ils ne sont pas là par conviction. Ils sont là parce qu'ils veulent profiter, parce qu'ils veulent être bien. Donc quand une personne est là parce qu'il veut profiter, pas faire bien, c'est sûr que son apport sera négatif. Il ne pourra pas apporter quelque chose de concret dans un pays. D'ailleurs, c'est pour ça que le Cameroun n'avance pas. Tous les pays où les gens qui sont en poste veulent apporter quelque chose de réel à leur pays, c'est des pays qui avancent. C'est des pays à moins de corruption. C'est des pays où on ressent que le pays va évoluer. Tous ces pays, regardez tous les pays qui ont des personnes qui ont des convictions réellement. Mais les pays qui ont des personnes qui veulent profiter, la corruption et tout ça, c'est des pays qui ont des dirigeants qui n'ont pas de conviction. Et ces dirigeants, comme ils n'ont pas de conviction, automatiquement, n'attendez pas qu'ils apportent quelque chose pour le peuple. C'est ça la réalité. Et ça la réalité. Et je vous dis, toutes ces personnes-là qui quittent pour aller au RDPC, sachant qu'ils ont combattu ce système. Et il vous dit, Jamen, ça faisait même pas un mois qu'il a fait, même pas un mois, 2 mois qu'il a fait l'interview à Naga TV, où il disait qu'il est le candidat de l'opposition, qui va combattre le système, qui va changer le système. Regardez aujourd'hui. Il n'a même pas honte. Moi je dis bien, en tout cas en politique on n'a pas honte. Parce qu'en politique on a honte. En politique on n'a pas honte. En politique c'est profiter. Mais le peuple a bien vu et je pense que le peuple va savoir comment venir, qui voter. Même aux législatives, même au municipal. Le peuple saura qui voter et qui ne pas voter. Parce qu'il y a des candidats qui sont là. Et je vous dis bien, le peuple doit être prêt à ça. Le peuple doit être prêt à refuser ça. Je vous dis, le président de la République et toutes ces personnes qui dirigent au Cameroun ne sont pas là comme des patrons du peuple. Le peuple reste et demeure le patron. Voilà, le peuple est le patron du président. Le peuple est le patron de tous ces gens-là. Nous, on est les patrons. Et on doit garder ça à l'esprit. Et savoir que si une personne refuse de travailler pour nous, on doit le mettre de côté. Voilà la réalité. Donc les amis, cette pensée de Moïse Kamto m'a attiré mon attention parce que j'ai compris que ce monsieur Kamto, vraiment, je pense qu'il aurait vraiment fait une affaire au Cameroun et qu'on aurait pu vraiment évoluer, mais malheureusement, le peuple camerounais n'est pas prêt. Le RDPC également n'est pas parti. Et voilà, il ne faut pas se mentir, le RDPC est quasiment sûr de remporter l'élection présidentielle prochaine parce que je vous dis bien que ce soit Kawalibi ou bon aussi en termes de base électorale, il faut être clair, le RDPC a une base électorale plus forte que. Ciao.
People that the opposition leaders have listened to their appeal for coalition and then has come up with a platform, a common platform for transition and then refoundation and then a consensual candidate, that is a process that will produce a consensual candidate by the end of this week and that consensual candidate will be presented to the people on the 13th of September of 2025.
Yes, can we once again listen to what you just announced, that you're coming with good tidings for those who have been longing for an opposition consensual candidate?
Sorry, I didn't.
Yes, I'm asking that you come back to what you just announced, that finally Cameroonians are going to...
Oh yes, on the 13th of September 2025, a consensual opposition candidate is going to be presented to the people of Cameroon. I guarantee that. You know, I've been coming in front and telling you that we've been working seriously to achieve that result, and then the result is there. One thing that is very important to understand is that a consensual candidate is not a single candidate. We are for democracy. You know, plenty other candidates can come to that election, but they will have between 1% and 5%. So we don't worry about that, because when you look at the result of the past 5 presidential elections, the first 3 candidates always got 90% or more of the vote. So what is important for us now is to have that consensual candidate to win by 60 to 70% of the vote, and then maybe CPDM come good second with 20%, and then the rest of the candidate will have the rest of the 10%.
Yes, you say you are very sure that by the 13th of September 2025, we're going to have a consensual candidate for Cameroon's opposition,
yes,
who is certainly going to play the challenger role of the CPDM party. Can we know some of them who have agreed to this coalition?
Yes, what thing that's very important is to understand that the mediator of the group of Douala have shifted the paradigm.
Okay.
After attempting to get the 11 so-called opposition leaders to come together, and found out that many of them actually
were not interested?
Were either not interested or are actually CPDM candidates. What we did is that we shifted the paradigm to candidates that were not retained by the Constitutional Council, and then to the entire political class and social society leaders, and then move there to first have a common platform. That was the key issue. That is, once you have a common platform of transition and refoundation of the country, which we do have now, as a result of the consultation that we made with the entire political class, we now move on to talk to the candidates and then ask those that will agree to promote during this campaign that common platform, and will also agree to have a one-term presidency of a maximum of 5 years. So it will be like 3 to 5 years transition, and then they will organize the election and then leave the scene. So those are the 2 conditions that we set. And then I will not give you the names today because we are still collecting the names, but we are confident that we have about 3 or 4 out of the 11 that have given good sign. We are hopeful that others will follow suit, and then it is among the candidates that have taken the oath of pushing that common platform with the people of Cameroon, and now go for a single-term presidency of 3 to 5 years, during which they will have a government of national unity of transition that will carry out the reforms as set by the program, the common program. Those are the people that we will now sit by the end of this week, and among them, through a really collaborative process, come out with one, which is the ideal profile of such a candidate. That candidate must have on his own already a good electoral base, and then good experience, and just those type of character, but also be a person that is open, that can talk to other people and then bring them together. And we are certain, given the advanced talk that we have had with all the candidates, that by Saturday we will arrive to that candidate, and then by Saturday the 6th, and then on the 13th at Amadou Ahidjo Stadium, we will be able to present that candidate to the Cameroonian people.
Okay, today I actually published an article you wrote this morning sending a strong message to militants of the CPDM party and doubting Thomases.
Yes.
Of what week you're talking about the consensual candidate. What motivated this outing today?
I had to put that thing out because there's been a serious campaign to convince the Cameroonian people that the opposition of Cameroon was the most stupid on earth, that we will never unite and stuff like that. And indeed, the government or the regime, let's say the regime, has put in place a multi-pronged strategy to ensure that this unity will not take place. But what happened is that they forgot that as they are trying to divert the opposition, we are also acquiring experience. What you see today is the result of 5 years, 5 years of work, and then conducted by people that have at least 35 years of opposition against this regime. And then we have put a lot of intelligence in the process. One of the biggest obstacle to victory will be abstention. And then abstention can come from the idea pushed by the government that, number one, don't you worry, CPDM has already won because opposition is divided and then can never unite. Number two, that the consensual candidate must absolutely come from those 12 that was chosen by CPDM Constitutional Council. And we got out of that trap. The 12 people that were chosen by the Constitutional Council are not, I'm saying that to the Cameroonian people, don't fall for that trick. They are not the one that you should look after. The unity, the consensual candidate, which we call the people's consensual candidate, is the candidate that you will choose, the candidate that will be pushing a program of refoundation of Cameroon. That's what you look at. There are some candidates that will never unite because they were chosen purposefully to bring division within opposition. You will recognize them because they will not join the unity, the coalition of Union for Change 2025. But those that join, as well as the other candidates that were not retained by the Constitutional Council, and then one famously is Maurice Kamto, are the people that we're consulting with. We're consulting also with other political parties, and then civil society organizations, and then independent personalities, and you see all of them hand in hand around our consensual candidate on the September 13, 2025.
Okay, you insist that a coalition of forces for change truly exists. That is what you're telling Cameroonians today. And you say that candidate is going to be made known on the 13th of September at the Yaoundé Amadou Ahidjo Stadium. And how did you overcome these divisions? Because we saw the meeting in Fumban that failed to produce the expected result.
Yes.
We saw a series of meetings in Yaoundé for 3 days, which also failed. But today you are telling us that by the 13th we're going to have somebody. How did you overcome all of this?
Yes, we overcame the difficulties by having the proper approach.
Okay.
The so-called group of Fumban, which is actually doesn't mean anything, was actually nothing but a meeting of actual candidates. When they met without a facilitator, and so from that point on, it was a mistake. If you meet among yourself as competitors without a facilitator, it is difficult for you to arrive at a consensus. So what we did, and then the second thing is they were calling everybody at the meeting without previously having a common platform. You see, so the approach of the group of Douala was to step in and then correct those two mistakes. Number one, we said, let's first have a common program of transition, which we arrived at, and then I'll lay down some of the foundation of that program later on the program if you have time for it.
Yeah, we are going to it.
And then once we have that program, then we say we ask we did not go to attempting to get all the 12 candidates. No, we wrote to them, all of them, but we say we will only meet with you if you agree that you will not be promoting the specific program of your political party, but that you intend to run under the auspices of this common program, and that you agree also that if you are elected as a consensual candidate, the first thing that you will do is to call a big national dialogue to give the voice to the Cameroonian people to decide what will happen during the transition, and you will be a one-term president for 3 to 5 years. So by going through that approach, you see, we were able to sift through the people that sincerely are for change in Cameroon, and then come with a short list of potential consensual candidates. And then so you can see that was the approach that we had. First, have the program, the common program, then second, have the people to sign that they agree on it, so that we can constitute a short list of potential candidates.
Okay. Can you I was going to ask you, can you outline the main points of the joint program for transition and renewal you mentioned?
Yes.
I have them here, but just go on.
Okay. So you wanted to run it, or you want me to do it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure that should be it.
So yes. So basically, this common program for transition and foundation of Cameroon was arrived at through vast consultation of Cameroonians all over the country as well as abroad, and then from different political leanings and ideologies. And then we arrived at 6 main points. One was the political priorities, which was to bring back peace in Northwest and Southwest, and then bring back security in Far North. So that's the first thing that any serious government of transition will do. And now call a big national dialogue to reconcile Cameroonians with themselves and then with their history, and to exalt national consciousness instead of tribal consciousness, and then also promote patriotism. That's the first set of priorities that will be addressed by this government. The second thing will be to do a proper audit of the state of affairs in Cameroon. Find out what is the income and expenses of the government, what are the assets and liability of this government, and what are the natural resources, human and natural resources of the country, and then how has it been used for the past 43 years. From that audit, then we can project certain reforms, institutional reforms, like strengthening national sovereignty, and then discussing the form of state, so new form of state for Cameroon.
Now, the program for the transition, which is expected to run for 3 to 5 years maximum.
Yes, maximum 5 years.
We'll start by focusing on fixing the security crisis in the Northwest and Southwest regions.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And then having a grand dialogue where the people will talk among themselves, reconcile themselves with.
Do you have a picture of how this reconciliatory session is going to look like?
Yes, contrary to the fake grand national dialogue where the Prime Minister sits in Yaoundé and then handpick CPDM members to come and then talk among themselves.
The Prime Minister
or whoever called that grand dialogue. I don't know. He was the one that convened it from one knowledge.
The President convened it. He presided over.
He presided over it. Okay, whatever it is, it's the same people. What serious transition government will not approach the matter that way. The consultation will start in the neighborhood, and then the neighborhood will send delegates to the subdivision, then the subdivision will convene, send delegates to the division to the region, and then the region will now send delegates to a national dialogue, so that they will take, so the preoccupation of the Cameroonian people will come from the grassroots. It will be a bottom-up approach rather than a top-down approach. And then you will have also social professional sectors that will meet, and then and make a balance sheet of the problems that they have, and bring all of that to the fore, so that it is from the Cameroonian people now talking, finally having the chance to talk among themselves, that we will identify the problems and then the possible solution. And the government of national unity will have 3 to 5 years to bring first step solution to that problem. It is important to say that the transitional government will not fix everything. Its role is just to lay the foundation, like a proper foundation, whereby after 5 years, the women, whatever party or the Cameroonian people elect, will now go on that sound foundation to reconstruct the country.
Okay, we'll go to reconstruct, but you say the transitional government is going to do an audit, a complete audit, and independent de l'État.
Yes. Yes, they will do audit of the
resources.
The resources.
Natural resources, Cameroon has.
First of all, the finances.
Okay.
You see, a government has income coming in and then expense. So we need to know what are the sources of income, and then how that money has been spent. And then as a government too, we have assets and liabilities, and then we need to know exactly where it is, because what we have now for the past 43 years are lying numbers. We don't even know how many Cameroonians we have. So that audit will allow us to know the true state of disrepair of the country. Because if you don't do that, you cannot fix it. So that will be a technical work. It won't be a political work. That's a technicians will do a proper audit of the state of affairs of Cameroon, and then it is from that audit that now institutional reforms, economic reforms, and social reforms will be made, as well as diplomatic reforms, which are the 4 other points of this program. One thing that's very important to understand in terms of the institutional reform is that 3 fundamental things are going to be discussed. One is the form of state. But the nature of our state, and then the form of the state. The nature of the state has to do with, are we going to remain a neo-colony of France, or are we going to be a sovereign country? That thing needs to be addressed properly by the Cameroonian people, that convening as a national conference will decide that no, we believe that we are an independent nation, we are no more a colony of France or of Britain or stuff like that. That would be a very strong statement. Okay. And then from there, the Cameroonians will decide among themselves what type of form of state do they want. Is it federalism? Is it decentralization? Whatever the case, people will be free to express themselves and then propose the type of form of state that they want to, that they find more appropriate for themselves. The second thing is to eradicate corruption, and then to also have a code of nationality that allow the diaspora to participate fully to the development of Cameroon. Last but not least, among the reforms will be electoral code that will allow finally in Cameroon for free and fair election, whose result will be the reflection of the will of the Cameroonian people. Okay.
Now, all what you're saying is going to be implemented by the flag bearer of the Union of Change, who is supposed to respect the following. When I read here, c'est promouvoir le programme commun de transition de la Fondation 6 juin au nom le programme de leur et non le programme de leur.
Yes, that flag bearer.
Can we make this clear to the
Yeah, so the flag bearer must sign an oath. That is all the people, or everybody that is candidate to the consensual candidature, must sign that oath, and then say should I be chosen as the consensual candidate, I shall promote not the program of my own political party, but I shall promote this common foundation program. Number one. Number two, he will take the oath that he will convene this national conference and then this sectorial social professional consultations, and then he will also be a one-term president, and he will organize free and fair election at the end of the transitional period. So those are serious engagement oath that on the 13th of September, whomever will be chosen will swear in front of the Cameroonian people that this is what I will do.
Okay. Good evening to you, Yukov Emmanuel, watching us from Limbe. Nadia Sorel is watching us from Gandri, and Guarini is watching from Limbe. Kemgong Usman Saleh is watching us from Moyuka. Edwino Damu is watching us from Moyuka. And Gongang Ivo Awayum is watching us from Bamenda. Angu Alfred. Okay, good evening to you. Shayu Nke is watching us from Limbe too. Now, you see that there is a form that has been produced, designed by the organizers of the coalition
Union for Change.
They call it the Union for Change 2025. The first thing is that the person who is going to accept to be that candidate or who is going to be chosen, he must forego his personal and the policies of his party in favor of what the coalition agrees on. Secondly, he must participate actively in the campaign, electoral campaign of the consensual candidate.
Yeah, that form that you're reading is the form now of people and organizations that will join the coalition.
Okay.
Yes, because we have two forms. One form is for the candidate, for those candidates.
The person who is going to be selected.
That's going to be selected. He has a form specifically for him.
Okay.
And then I gave you the outline of that form. Now, Cameroonian people need to know that this coalition is their coalition. You can join it as an individual. You can join it as a association, civil society association, and then political parties also that agree that we must go through this common program of transition and the foundation can also join. It's important to understand that this program is not ideologically based. It is a program that comes from the view that the country is in a advanced state of disrepair, and we cannot move forward if we don't stop and then give ourselves a new foundation. And then so the goal of this transitional government is just to lay that foundation so that Cameroon can have a better future. And therefore everybody is called upon to join this the Union for Change in 2025, including CPDM members. You can join it as an individual if you choose to.
Okay. Now, you say that the person also surveiller les différents du vote, okay, contribuer après la victoire.
Yeah, absolutely. If you become a member of the coalition, you have 2 or 3 duties. Number one is indeed to promote this program around you, to make sure that you come out and vote on the 12th of October 2025, and that you remain there to make sure that the result of your voting station are the ones that are recorded on the on the paper.
Okay. You have announced tonight that on the 13th of September, Cameroonians are going to know the name of that consensual candidate. But why choose the 13th of September, Mr. Chamini?
That date is a symbolic and a very, very strong date because it's on the 13th of September 1958 that a person that I consider, in my view, one of the founding, if not even the founding father of independence in Cameroon, Nyobe, was assassinated by French forces anyway in the Sanagama regime, what was called Sanagama regime region at the time. So we symbolically chose the date where they killed one of our greatest nationalists, to say that it is on that date that the Cameroonian nation will resurrect and then give himself a new base. So it's a very, very important date. It's a date, the 13th of September will no more be a date of warning, but a date of celebration of the rebirth of the Cameroonian nation.
Okay, rebirth of the Cameroonian nation. Hello, my media prime. Teka Franklin is watching from Boya. Good evening to you, Franklin. So the 13th of September is chosen for historic reasons.
That's
very
correct.
Symbolic.
Yes.
That is the anniversary of Nyobe's assassination as a rallying date. That is the reason why you want to use the date. But
yes.
In your outing today, you point to October 12, 2025 as the day the people will proclaim victory. What concrete milestones must be met for this to happen?
We have so far, I think I had announced already on your TV that I developed since 2015 software, Android-based software that could allow people to do parallel voting tabulation. And then it's a software that's free. That will soon be available to any citizen of Cameroon, and that could download it on his phone, and then as they sit at the end of the voting around 6 p.m., they could enter in their phone the result that they see on the board and then take a picture of it. If they can take a picture of the PV, that's fine, but if not, they can just take the picture of the board, because by law that counting must take place on the board. And once they have that, if they do that, and then we are able to cover, let's say maybe 70% or 80% of the 31,000 polling station, we will have the result of the people that night on the platform. Of course, legally it is the Constitutional Council that's supposed to proclaim the result. However, by law again, those results are already given to us at the polling station. So clearly we are in our legal right to assemble those results so as to prevent the rigging that usually take place in the communal and regional and national vote counting commissions. That is field of CPDM militants and agents.
Okay, but serious work needs to be done. You need a national representation. You need a caravan that is supposed to do intense campaigns across all the subdivisions, the villages.
Yes, sir.
That machinery, is that also being worked out?
Oh, absolutely. One thing that is you have to understand is that once the people take hold of an idea, they are quickly able to spread around. And then one may ask, why did we wait so late to arrive in this process? Number one was that we had obstacle along the way, which is normal, coming from the regime. But we also, by experience, found out that if we came too early and then designated a candidate, that candidate would become subject to so much opposition that maybe we would not have been able to pass the Constitutional Council. Like you saw, Maurice Kamto wasn't able to pass through that Constitutional Council. He did not even pass through the Electoral Council in the first place. So now that we have people that have passed, some of which were working with us already with the idea of coalition, now we will put out that candidate 1 month, exactly 1 month before the day of the election, and then we are pretty much sure that the people mobilize the sheer number of political parties associations that are calling us. My phone is ringing every minute with people sending out the forms that they want to join the coalition. And I want to let them know that a website is going to be open where they can go and register, so they don't need to call me anymore. They just go to the website and then just fill up the form, put the name, the address, the email and stuff like that, and then they will be put into a group and receive information and stuff like that. But the people of Cameroon will be in charge of carrying this campaign, because it is their campaign. It is not the campaign of a political party. That's what people need to understand, is that the fate of Cameroon is being put in the hand of Cameroonians themselves, not in the hands of political parties. All you will have is a consensual candidate that will come in front of you with a team of people. You will not come alone. We don't have no notion of personality cult anymore. It's going to be a team that's going to be leading this transition, but a team needs a captain, and the consensual candidate is going to be the captain of a team.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Koum and the Douala Group representative. Please find out from the Douala Group representative that what if the ballot paper are printed before the 13th September? What will be the fate of the opposition coalition candidate? Simon is writing from Kumba.
The Cameroonian people need to know that once they discover who that consensual candidate is, they will also know the color of his ballot. And they should disregard all the other ballot paper, starting with the one that's white with the fire on it, and then and then all the others, and then just pick that one. We will let them know that by the 13th of November, and I am sure that Elekam, to confuse the people, will put all the ballot papers there. That they always do that, even if the candidates say that no, we want to run as a coalition.
Yeah, but they were supposed to have done that. They were supposed to have done that. They are the ones who have given Elekam the right to do what they are doing according to.
Well, like I said again, we met certain obstacle, but normally, even if Elekam has printed the ballot paper, and we go to them and then we tell them, look, hey, I'm not running anymore. I don't want my ballot paper to be put out there. Why do you want to confuse the people?
Does the electoral code provide for that? Is it possible? Or
is it
assuming? There was a time. Time was given for them to actually notify that they are not running, so that their 30 million be refunded. They failed to do that.
No. So let me tell you one thing. That is, sometimes there's a confusion there.
Okay.
What the electoral code provides for is, if you desist before the ballot paper is produced, then you lose your 30 million. That is, you cannot get your 13 million back. No, I'm sorry. If you desist before the ballot paper is produced, you get your 30 million back. All right? But if you don't, then your ballot paper is going to be produced.
Yes.
But there's nowhere in the electoral code that says that if you desist after, they are forced to put those ballot paper in the polling station. Nowhere. Look, so if there's any such obligation, let them show it. They do it in purpose, because normally, if the candidates have the right to continue to negotiate until maybe 5 days or so after, because the polling station, and at the polling station, they can just send an instruction and then say, look, hey, this candidate has desisted officially with a letter signed and stuff like that. I don't see no candidate going after signing a paper to say I'm desisting in favor of this candidate to complain that his ballot paper were not in the polling station. There is no provision. There's no such provision. Elekam is doing that in purpose to confuse Cameroonian people.
Now, how is this candidate, the consensual candidate, how is he going to be presented to the Cameroonian people?
We have a big rally that is planned at the esplanade of Amadou Aidjo Stadium. So we're calling for the Saturday, 13th of September at 2 p.m. So we're calling on to the Cameroonian people to come in droves in Yaoundé. Yes.
Next week?
Yeah, Saturday next week. So you want to see your candidate, you want to see your next president, your transitional president, and then the team that will accompany that candidate. Please, rendezvous is taken in Yaoundé on the 13th of September, 2 p.m. at Amadou Alijo Stadium. So come there, and then come in grove and in numbers, so that we can show to this regime the desire of the Cameroonian people for true change.
Now, after the consensual candidate takes over, wins election, you expect him to form a government of national unity comprised of who?
The government, the government of national unity, and then we call it national unity because the transitional government is not coming there to do witch hunt and then exclude any side of the Cameroonian, including that CPDM that is giving us difficulty right now. We believe that a refoundation needs everybody without exclusion. So there will be a government, a very, very largely open government of national unity that will include all the Cameroonian that really want the foundation of the country, except clearly those that will put strong obstacle to the will of the Cameroonian people after the election. But if, at the end of the election, people concede defeat, which I don't know how this regime can win. I don't know how Mr. Biya can win this election when I just see the state of disrepair of the roads. But if they concede defeat and then accompany the government of transitional of unity and the transitional government of unity, everybody will be called into that government so that we can build a new foundation for our country and then move peacefully into a better future.
Yeah, but by the time you are taking office, should you not already have an idea of how your government will look like? Because once you take office, Cameroonians will be looking forward to seeing concrete things being done. Will you take 1 year to form a government?
Oh no, not at all, not at all. It's the structure of the government is of national unity is already made. It's going to be a government that's going to be light, not this type of overcrowded government of people doing nothing all day, but a smaller government, very efficient, that is mission driven, and then that will simply be open to all people with the competence to run what needs to be run during that period. And it doesn't take a long time. I mean, as we are speaking right now, a short list of competent people is being made and stuff like that. I want to say to Cameroonian people, please join the Union for Change because in 2025, because it is the sum of the experience of the fight that we've been fighting for the past 35 years. And then a lot of intelligence has been put into that. No more this type of opposition that is based on emotion, because now we are structuring ourselves to take a country and then run that country. So we have to do it seriously, and then we have all the competence that we will take inside Cameroon as well as in the diaspora, and then from all political parties and then all sensibilities of the country.
Okay, you keep talking about refoundation. What are we refounding? From what to what? Are you?
son apogée.
Nous sommes déjà presque arrivés à la fin de cette édition spéciale, l'une des chaînes sociopolitiques. Alors, bienvenue donc pour la prochaine.